2K Sports pregame show.
Man, it is great to be with you again, everybody. The NBA season has now hit full stride. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith on 2K Sports.
Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke. We are nearly ready.
Oh, guys.
All right, DA, not a problem. I ordered more than enough for all of us. Doris, several clubs already enduring plenty of ups and downs. We see it every day in the league. How many games into the season does it take to know exactly what kind of team you've got and then where you need to proceed from that point on?
Well, I think obviously you typically see some level of separation between the championship contending teams almost in the first 20 games. If somebody's getting out to a 15-1 start, you know that typically speaking, they're going to be in it for the long haul. I think the fascinating aspect of the NBA season typically is in those 5 through maybe 10 slots in the respective Eastern and Western Conference, right?
Yes.
Because so often, Kevin, we're seeing 2 or 3 games separate maybe the 5th team from the 10th team. That means all of the ease with which he elevates Wiggins with a highlight move that time.
And that replay sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. It's rebounded by Towns.
Not the kind of strong finish it should have been. Something threw him off.
Teague can't hit.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Parker kicks to Leonard. In the corner, it's Ginobili. The dish to Aldridge. Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for Gasol to dunk it home. At 7 feet tall, he uses his height to power home those jams.
Gasol with the steal. Fast break, here we go. And there's Ginobili. That's good on the assist by Gasol.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's foul number 2 for him. Mills, he's checked in for Parker. Here's T. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. They grab their own miss, and he gets the bucket.
So second chance bucket, right? You have to put a body on Towns or he'll devastate you.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Aldridge inside, defended by Gibson. Aldridge, no luck. And Doris, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves debuted their rebrand plans for this season.
Well, it was the right time, I think, to keep the logo fresh, and the team did a great job. You feel as if this will be the constant look for what is a new era in Minnesota basketball.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
Greg, the defense better start to disrupt his rhythm, or it's going to be an awfully long night for them.
Here we go, one-on-one. Manu Ginobili again. Ginobili's got 6 points.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
T kicks to Wiggins. Pass to Butler. A minute 42 left in the first quarter. Clock at 6. Towns, no luck.
Boy, that's exactly how you have to play defense when he's driving the lane. You cannot give him any space.
And the rejection by Towns. Butler against Ginobili. Stolen by Ginobili. All alone. And it's slammed in by Ginobili.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. Victory eluded them last time in San Antonio when they took on the Spurs.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
The mind was willing, the body was not. This is why conditioning is such a big part of the game.
A whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Kyle Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Rocket 6. The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
It's Bjelica, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Oh, easy putback. No one got a body on it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Greg, that's just inexcusable. All they had to do was box him out. You learn a lesson the hard way in that instance.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Zhang, a screen. Shot off the screen. Jump shot is good that time.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first. Now here's Jones. He's covered closely. And Muhammad kicks to Crawford. Tries it from the top of the key. He can't get that one.
Well, can't find the target, but good work to get into open space inside the arc.
And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. All right, the second quarter. On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Parker and Green are the guard set. Anderson is out there with Laverne. And it's Gay in at the 3 slot. Crawford, no one around him. Crawford with another miss.
Well, you don't get much more wide open inside the arc. He simply got to make that shot.
Anderson passes to Green. And Green slams it in.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
To the middle. It's Bjelica. Lays it up off the glass. Bjelica's got his second basket of the game.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Anderson can't get it to go.
I'll tell you, Gorgui Zhang is improving and becoming a value at the center spot with all that length. He challenges shots. He's got a nice face-up touch. There's a lot to like with this guy.
Davis Bertans checks in for the Spurs. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Zhang, a screen. There's Crawford with the 3. Laverne grabs the miss. And with Zhang's length and touch, you feel comfortable playing him at either the 4 or the 5. And also versatile enough, Doris, to play as a starter or off the bench.
Right. It's hard to find a big man who does as much as Gorgui Zhang. He doesn't necessarily dominate in one area, but this guy always finds a way to contribute.
Poked loose. Muhammad with the steal. Crawford drives in. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Now let's check out and highlight the best defenses in the NBA. Number 1, the Spurs.
You know, allowing the fewest points per game in the entire league. Their defense has been dominant. Tremendous scheming by the coaches. The players are skilled. They're motivated. This is a very tough bunch to score on.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Towns, he's checked in for Bialica, and it's Butler in for Shabazz Muhammad. The Spurs also changing it up. Leonard comes in for Rudy Gay, and Murray subbed in for Green.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Towns, the screen. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Sinks the three-pointer. Butler's got his first 3 points of the game.
Boy, this play is perfectly in sync. Butler gets just the space he needs.
Murray kicks to Bertans. Leonard dishes to Murray. Spurs passing it around. Laverne. And Laverne throws it down.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it? Jones kicks to Butler. And that's a foul called on Davis Bertans. That is his first foul of the game. Doris, as we know, you were born in New York, grew up in New Jersey, lots of basketball talent in those areas. Who were some local players who influenced you early on?
Well, 1983 is the year the Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA championship, and that team was the epitome of cool, Kevin, right? You had the masterful doctor, the power of Moses Malone, but you know who I tried to emulate? Mo Cheeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, the steady, heady point guard who could make big shots and come up with a timely steal. I couldn't be the doctor. I couldn't fly like the doc, so Mo Cheeks is my guy.
Got a piece of it. Gibson with the steal. Higgins outside. Here's Towns. Outside Teague. Pass to Butler. And there's the call on Ginobili. That's his first foul. And the Spurs with some changes. Saul comes in for Bertans. It's Mills in for Manu Ginobili. And the rejection by Leonard.
And a sensational individual defender. Leonard will lock you down. Rejections are just part of the package he brings on the defensive end.
Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Wiggins passes to Towns. They now take the lead. Towns has got the lead up to 2 now for Minnesota.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Here's Gasol. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got 5 rebounds tonight. Towns the screen. Here's Butler. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
You know, after not scoring a single point in the first quarter, they're still feeding him, and he's showing his appreciation.
The Spurs making a switch here. Anderson's checked in.
And the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons, except the strike-shortened one in '99.
And here we go. Wiggins heading to the hoop, and Wiggins throws it down.
Wow, the long reach of Cat. When he grabs for the ball, it's over.
Mills dishes to Gasol. Anderson outside. In the corner, Murray with it. And the pass to Aldridge. And they get it. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Nothing they're doing on the defensive end is working. They've got to figure something out, and fast.
Here's Mills, and a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Mills has got his first bucket of the night. Butler in the corner. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Well, Taj Gibson has built his NBA game on his ability to rebound the basketball consistently. What a great nose for it he has.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that on the inbounds play. Exactly the way they drew it up.
Jimmy Butler has been on display for Minnesota. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific. Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. They did give up a couple baskets more than they wanted to, and at the end of the period, were trailing by 5 points. They asserted themselves nicely in the second quarter, and we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter.
The third quarter. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
And over the years, Gasol has proven himself to be a valuable teammate. Someone guys love to be around. A guy that plays well with just about anybody.
And, Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
Tipped away. Out of bounds, Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. And here we can check out the breakdown of rebounds tonight between the front court and the back court for Minnesota.
And their bigs are getting the vast majority of those caroms, handling their business on the inside and freeing up the guards to get up the court and look for early offense.
And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, superb awareness, Greg, right? Not allowing them to get comfortable running their offense, being super aggressive.
Clock at 2. Teague. Got a piece of it.
Yeah, and even with his range, that one might be asking a little too much.
Yeah, that zip code might extend beyond his range. My goodness, let's take a better shot next time.
Butler with the ball. He's got 8. In the corner, it's Wiggins. Here's Gibson. Out of bounds, Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. About 1 minute played here in the second half. Teague kicks to Butler. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Towns is doubled. Here's Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
What a quick read by Towns, always keeping his head up.
And stolen by Wiggins. Over Leonard, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. And that's now 6 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Boy, when you watch Cat play out there, you can forget exactly how young he is. The poise and manner of a 10-year vet, and very aware of what is happening on the court.
And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That'll be his second foul of the game. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Wiggins. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Butler. And Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague. San Antonio also making some changes. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Bertanis comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Rudy Gay's checked in for the Spurs. And while Towns does play beyond his years, he is definitely young to the point where he was actually younger than every member of both starting 5, Doris, in the national championship game last season in college basketball.
I think it's got to be a scary thought for the league that Cat is still years away from what should be his prime. It's rare to see a player so young have such great court awareness. And I think that's the thing that separates good players from great players.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Laverne. Both good from the line that time.
I tell you, as good as he is at the line, it allows him to invite contact when he's down low.
Inside, And finished off by Zhang.
Well, how about the aggressiveness at the point of attack? Zhang finishing like he means it.
Here's Anderson. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
Boy, I'll tell you, he has plenty of space, but it looked like a little bit of a hitch in that release.
Parker kicks to Bertans. Here's Green. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And one thing you can say about Green, I don't know of too many players who are as dependent on their three-point shot as he is. He needs that shot to be falling for him to make an impact.
Towns, he's checked in for Minnesota. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Doris, back in college, you were named to the All-Big East team. What an honor. You've been a broadcaster for Big East games in college basketball. Any players from that conference who would say, in your opinion, are better pros than they were in college?
Well, I think Josh Hart from Villanova would be a player that I'm curious to see what level of effect he has at the NBA level. He's not a guy who's going to blow you away with his athleticism, but all he did at Villanova was win. He's got one national championship to his credit. He was an effective two-way player in the Big East. Does he translate to the pros? I can't wait to see.
And Doris, multiple years at the college game, too.
Kevin, I think that perception is changing. There was a time where if you were a four-year college player, you were frowned upon in the NBA. I think because of the age and experience, GMs and coaches are now looking at those guys who spend multiple years in college in a vastly different and much more positive light.
Very interesting thought. From the arc, buries it from three-point range. Towns has got 9 points.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Minnesota making a switch here. Teague's checked in. Making free throws a big key for any team. Let's see the best in the NBA. The Spurs second.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want to foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
We've got 1:13 left to play here in the third. Kicks to Muhammad. Zhang, a screen. Muhammad, the pass to Towns. The jump hook gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for the Spurs. The Spurs shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
To the inside, Zhang. Good, and the assist goes to Town. Zhang's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, what a drastic change going from so sound defensively in the first half to not close to that in the second.
Mills dishes to Aldridge. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Aldridge has got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Taj Gibson's checked in for Zhang. Wiggins comes in for Muhammad. And it's Butler in for Jamal Crawford. Then for the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Anderson. And Murray's subbed in for Danny Green. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. For Minnesota, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. No good on that one.
Well, there's so much value in how Jeff Teague runs an offense. He's got great speed. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. I think any organization would be lucky to have this guy.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Pau Gasol's checked in for Gay. And it's Ginobili in for Patty Mills. And there it is for him. And that's now 7 points for Pau Gasol. Teague kicks to Gibson. Feeds to Butler. Dishes it to Towns. And off the glass. That one's good.
On the catch and shoot, just so relaxed. Almost looks like Towns is playing a game of horse out there.
And not everyone can shoot this well at his size.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Guys with size don't necessarily translate into great shooters, but boy, does he show great confidence knocking that down.
And so it's Minnesota with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Timberwolves leading by 6. On the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter. Skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. Ginobili out there with Murray. And it's Gasol at the pivot spot manning the middle. So it's the Spurs now. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Murray kicks to Aldridge. And Leonard has it in the corner. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Pau Gasol again. Gasol's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for San Antonio. The Timberwolves shooting reasonably well, 45%. Outside Teague. Here's Towns. No good off the front iron. Spurs trail by 4. Here's Murray. Outside Aldridge. Gibson with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. Parker's checked in for Murray. Teague against Parker. Teague the pass to Towns. They get the rebound. No good from Gibson. And the Spurs with possession here in the fourth quarter. Their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Here's Aldridge. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior. 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Wiggins against Leonard. Towns a screen on Ginobili. Here's Butler. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, a ferocious putback. Towns sends it down.
Spurs trail by 4. Parker dishes to Gasol. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Over Gibson. Second shot opportunity. Gasol no good. Timberwolves leading by 4. That's a 2 from Butler. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
Each year, this guy refines the jumper a little bit more, and that sets everything else up for Jimmy Butler.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And San Antonio also making a switch. Gay's checked in. Crawford against Ginobili. A second chance effort. Parker's shot is off.
Well, that's tough defense in the paint, harassing him every step of the way.
And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Great look, but off the mark. And there's the feed to Aldridge. Rudy Gay on the wing. To the inside. Here's Gasol. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And Gasol is someone you turn to in these situations. Need a big basket, he's ready to go.
Well, you have to love his poise at the free throw line. He's never rattled, no matter how much pressure he might be under.
They set the pick. Teague the pass to Wiggins. Gibson the screen. Wiggins kicks to Towns. Inside. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Towns. Towns has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Ginobili dishes to Aldridge. Plays it up and banks it in. Aldridge has got 4 this quarter.
Well, you see the excellent skill set, and this is when you want to make an impact.
Don't you love seeing this guy rise to the occasion, going right at the defense and getting it done in the clutch?
Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Mavericks in Dallas. Towns against Gasol. And Towns gets it to go.
Oh, needing a bucket there. Towns doesn't hesitate.
the Spurs decide to talk it over. They're down by 5. 1:15 left in the fourth. Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl-Anthony Towns.
And the shooting percentage, how about all the way in the 60s, shows how deadly he can be when he's feeling it. And as locked in as he was, they were trying to feed him as much as possible. But he never got out of control. I mean, he kept his head and just stayed patient.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. Yes, they're behind right now, but he's still upbeat. He said, guys, we can get back in this game. Stay together out there. All-out effort can win this game.
Outstanding pass. He reads the play as it develops, and his lead pass is absolutely perfect.
T kicks to Gibson. Crawford outside. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
Yeah, they have to be feeling a little bit more comfortable after the free throws add to their lead.
And Gasol with the dunk.
And that's why Gasol's teammates trust him. His ability to hit these shots time and time again is what makes him such a special player.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And he ends up making the second, and that increases their lead to 6.
And not as productive a trip as you would like, but they're still in a pretty comfortable position.
Here's Wiggins, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague.
Just terrific determination. First, compiling the lead, and now building on it.
Yeah, Greg, I think it's very difficult coming back in this instance. They have owned this game. Don't see them coughing up this lead.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 9. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
Boy, now it's just a matter of getting to that final whistle. Those free throws should wrap this up.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock, and stolen by Jeff Teague. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Green. And he converts the layup. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so the Timberwolves take the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really see.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony.
Living like Cali. 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 I just bought carries. Living like, yeah, back with another one. But I gas up another one. Next to my back.